This could actually save you guys some money. Do you need Gatorade on 2K23? That's a big question that's spreading throughout the 2K community. Considering the inflation costs and additional costs that we're paying for bills, you got a lot of players out there trying to save as much VC as they can, and they're curious as to whether or not they can play the game without Gatorade. And surely you can play the game without Gatorade, but can you compete at high levels without Gatorade? And that's the question. Are you going to be getting dubs consistently without purchasing Gatorade? Now, we have 3 separate Gatorade options. We have one that gives you a double blue bar, and that's probably the most important Gatorade you can actually purchase, as it extends your stamina bar. Then you also have a Gatorade that slows down the drain of your stamina, and you also have one that speeds up the recovery of your stamina. Purchasing all 3 Gatorade would be ideal for your player, but who can afford to purchase all 3 Gatorades for every single game that you play on 2K23? As the homie Brutal Sim highlighted in one of his most recent videos, you guys are playing at a deficit. You're already at a loss the second you get on the court, especially if you purchase all 3 Gatorades, not to mention all the additional skill boosts you're going to add to your player. I know a lot of you guys want to minimize the impact of that loss, so you're out here trying to find ways to save some VC. I'm going to do my best to help you understand whether or not you need Gatorade. If players asked me generally, do you need Gatorade to compete at high levels? My answer without a doubt would be an absolute yes. If you want your player to perform at his max potential, then you need to max out that stamina, slow down the drain, and speed up that recovery. In 2K23, more noticeable than in any other 2K in history, when your stamina gets low, it's like 2K lowers all your sliders along with it. This means you're not playing defense as well. This means you're not getting optimal finishing animations. This also means you're not going to hit your shots nearly as consistent as you would if you had Gatorade on your player. You know, a lot of those driving dunk animations that turn into layups, a lot of that is factored into your stamina. But can some of you guys get away without purchasing Gatorade at all? I think for spot up shooters, they have the potential to get away without purchasing Gatorade because they're not draining any of their stamina. And I mean dead spot up shooters, players that spot up and only shoot the rock. Surely you got to consider the other end of the court, the defensive end of the court, where you can lose stamina as well, and you may not get the most optimal defensive animations, considering chase down blocks and late closeouts or even passing lane steals. But in order to determine whether or not you need Gatorade, you need to figure out how much stamina you drain per possession. Are you more inclined to drain stamina? When you get the rock, do you want to perform a couple moves before you shoot the rock or take your drive? Maybe Gatorade will be the best option for you. But if you're just a spot up, you're just standing there shooting the rock, wasting no stamina, you can most definitely get away without using Gatorade. I get it. I know it's tough to monitor your stamina bar in the middle of a play while the defender is trying to overwhelm and smother you. But if you guys want to save some money on Gatorade, I recommend you start keeping a close eye on that stamina bar. See how many dribble moves it takes to drain your stamina. Monitor how much stamina you lose getting from the corner to the rack. If you're able to successfully get from the corner or from the hash to the rack with a sufficient amount of stamina without using Gatorade, then you're good money out there. But for a lot of players, it's highly unlikely to get from the corner or from the hash to the rack without draining a good amount of stamina, in turn giving your player the most goofy animations to finish or knock down a shot. When you have Gatorade, those 1 to 3 dribble moves that you take to break down your defender before your drive allows you the opportunity to take that drive with more stamina, increasing your odds to convert for 2 points at the rack. Although I don't recommend going out there to compete at higher levels without Gatorade, I understand a lot of players just don't want to spend more VC on boosts. A lot of players just hate the principle of a pay to win mechanic incorporated into 2K23. Oh man, we probably ruffled some feathers. Is 2K23 pay to win? It most certainly is, because Gatorade is indeed going to give your player max potential and allow him to consistently get more optimal animations compared to someone who is not running Gatorade. So like the homie Brutal Sim said, if that man could afford Gatorade and this man can't afford Gatorade, the man that can't afford Gatorade will win more times than not. The odds just very heavily go in favor of the player who has Gatorade. That describes pay to win to a T. But don't get discouraged out there, because there's so many bums on 2K23 that maybe your IQ without Gatorade will prove to be better than the IQ of someone who had to get the crutch and purchase Gatorade. If any of you guys are playing 2K23 without Gatorade, sound off in the comment section below. I would love to know how your experience has been on 2K23 without buying these boosts. Do you have a high win percentage? Have you noticed any differences playing with or without Gatorade? Sound off in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K23 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.